今年は終わりました。
Hi, so the year of our Lord 2019 has ended, and all the awards and lists are floating our feeds, and everybody runs out their capes with their best of the year, best movie, best game,
Best oopsie?
worst oopsie. Although a nice tradition to remember those things that added value to our year, it can be a bit rudimentary to score and enlist art. Which is why we won't score them nor make a pool for people to vote for. Instead, we'll make them fight by themselves in a tournament using their strengths and weaknesses. And by that, I mean my biased opinion, bad memory, and cynicism, clashing in unfair battles ordered by the hand of causality as an analogy of life's unfairness. So we instantly disqualify anything I didn't watch. We are ignoring those I dropped as well. And these are the ones I still hold some morbid curiosity towards. To the watch later void they go.
Which leads us...
So, to have unfair matches as fair as possible, we made 5 different brackets using top-of-the-art technology. 5 different brackets. Then, with the best deep learning random algorithm, we selected one of those 5 brackets. And then, I picked none of them and chose the one I liked the most.
Got to be kidding me.
So, let the battles begin! The best way to start our tournament. Boogie Pop, the fruit of the hard work by the staff at Madhouse, directed by Natsume Shingo, director of the first season of One Punch Man. It has scenes with great animation, framing, a relaxing soundtrack, great composition overall, and, depressing as fuck, one of the highlights of the year. The long wait is over, and One Fist Man came out with anticlimactic praise. Oh boy. Fetish, the anime. Do you like legs attached to a body? Then this isn't for you, but you should get some help. Would you rather see a wholesome young flirting blooming love or a passive-aggressive crush unfold? Hard to decide. If only there was something to make the decisive call for this one. You got to be kidding me. Another harem anime with 2 seasons in 1 year, but we really need more girls falling for this guy. Cute moments from time to time, if you like to punish yourself. I do. Being the reason I put both seasons into the bracket generator to increase its chance of making me miserable. But you couldn't even do that. Do you ever do things out of sheer self-hatred? Not even the cute designs nor the creepy subject matter was enough to stop this one from being so forgettable. Oh, but yeah, memes. A coming-of-age story approached from an interesting perspective with curious eyes that got derailed by the end, just as life itself. Still, I enjoyed this one.
Son of a bitch.
Do you like pretentious chuckles every 5 minutes? Do you miss Kiss, Unidas, Weird Eyes? An entertaining series with an imaginative set. It deserves the attention it has gathered, but oh boy, you have nothing on. The anime that just slaps you with one Sakuga after another. It has one of the most creative executions I've seen for a teleporter. Some bro moments with Best Boy Mob. A total gem. MILF, the anime. The DVDs are coming out and the censorship is coming off, so I'm glad I dropped it. Might check it out later. Speaking of uncensored releases, this is a fan service show in its purest form. I must give it credit for not taking the harem route, since I'm sick of harems. For relationships to be explored through crazy opie physics, the purest garbage served at the highest rated gourmet raccoon restaurants, and you know that we all have a raccoon in our degenerate hearts.
I give up.
Speaking of trash, oh Hestia, the charm is gone, if it ever was there to begin with. This is a hentai show in its purest form. I appreciate the Comic Festa approach of broadcasting hentai instead of just selling DVDs. Surprisingly enough, this one has a better arc than most fanservice shows out there. It has a pinch of harem, but outside of that, it ends up in a satisfying way, even when the source is ongoing. Short to the point, some progression from teasing to full-on hentai? Nice indeed. Social Anxiety, the anime, the Musume, a cute harmless show about making and not making friends. Sadly enough, it ended up against hot hetero-flexible boys kicking ass in a manly way. What else is there to say?
I love Japan.
Fetish the Anime Season 2. Season 2! I can't wait for the future where every fetish will be explored with its own anime, not a hentai. So much that those who don't get their kicks with uncensored stuff, those whose fetish is watching mosaics, then what will be next? Just some grid animated as the ultimate perversion? Will spreadsheets become the hottest thing ever? The possibilities are endless, tasteless. The ultimate test to prove that you are clean of any trace of furriness. The anime. Just by the stop motion opening alone, this one gets a high score. Definitely one of the most pleasant surprises this year. Also, have you ever wondered how soft will rabbits' breasts be? Not even a competition, really? This one is just obnoxious. Not even all the nippers can save it from the boring and voluptuous yet flat characters.
This isn't interesting.
They all have fetishes but me. The anime, mystery harem comedy. It was a bit unsettling that some scenes had that Murakami framing and style. Kino, the OBA, extremely imaginative. Pleasant to look at all throughout. Finally giving the welcome sequel to the decade-old OBA. Cool head, bro. The anime. I am a bit behind on this one, so...
What?
Shokugeki no Slideshow, the anime that makes you realize of how bland everything you eat is, and how you'll never be good enough to undress people with your cuisine. Did you like the previous seasons? Well, more of the same. Another OP Isekai anime with best demon girl and an entertaining focus on the building of a civilization. Also, appreciate that there is a reason for Rimurus shape, but who wouldn't take some androgynous Bishoujo as their avatar if they could shapeshift? You know what's manly? Me neither. But watching a boy romance anime and saying, hey, that's pretty cute, and realizing that the best boy is none of the main characters, now that's manly. Also, best boy, he's getting a movie. Speaking of manly shows, another treat from Ikuhara-sama, love him or hate him, the imaginary contrived setting, the visuals on point, and the use of intermezzo sinfonico made this one of the jewels of this year, even when it felt a bit rushed and the formulaic structure could be a detriment for some. Edgy Genius Kids, the anime, and the edgiest of them all who...
I remember being inside for
Shut the fuck up.
I really did have a better time with. This was closer to Konosuba than Kemono Mask, the one written by Konosuba's creator. That goddess takes all the glory, her over-the-top reactions. I really just want more of Konosuba. The whole remake concept from a classic seemed interesting. Sadly, I didn't finish this one. The initial setting hooked me up, following the background friend of the harem protagonist, an anti-harem romantic comedy. Sadly, it devolves into a classic harem, but it keeps being entertaining somehow. I think it's a bit of a highlight for this year. Too bad that it is against Best Boy. The kinetic animation on Shingeki never ceases to amaze, and surprisingly enough, Kimetsu no Yaiba didn't fall behind with UFO Table and its unlimited budget works, both with amazing animation. So, the only way to choose one properly...
Got to be kidding me.
From the creator of Soul Eater, an anime with a sense of humor, religious imagery, and non-subtle fan service sprinkled throughout, with ex-Shaft staff working on it, providing theatrical framing and a crazy good first opening and ending.
Nice.
Do you even live? The anime. Nothing better than an anime that inspires you to exercise through a rich tapestry of imagery, one that's diluted from the source.
Can't be serious.
As I stated before, trash and raccoons go hand in hand. Another anime I watch out of sheer morbidness. From the creator of Konosuba, here's an anime I didn't like, yet somehow I finished watching. This season had kind of a slow start. I've heard that feelings are going to be dragged all over the pavement in this season. Sadly, they don't have rabbits' breasts. Some static shots looked great, but for the rest of the show, I was left wondering why. My favorite comedy of the year, even when I related to the most annoying character of the show, which threw me into a spiral of cringe after every episode. But still, I just wanted a week to go by so I could see the next episode and numb the pain of being alive.
This is barbaric. Barbaric!
This one is a hard one. But at the end, Boogie Pop is the most complete package of these two, Senko Roll being an OVA and all. An anime that takes its time, something that is surprising. A more subtle anime with breathtaking, well-earned moments. Guess now I'll have to read the manga. I have to shoot Sarasan 9 out of sheer creativity and insanity. Even with the abrupt ending, Araburu left a bigger impression on me than an isekai. Even with that useless goddess carrying the series on her shoulders, and that plot twist. A hard battle, but seems clear. Mob didn't waste time on the last episode building a harem. That's a clear winner to me. I really want to give this one to the lead one, but I just can't forget that crying Sakuga. From Watanabe-sama, an anime filled with musical references that tries to deliver a positive message in times of disarray. It was entertaining to watch, and some songs stayed with me long after finishing it, but the ending felt a bit underwhelming, even if that was part of the message. I wouldn't call this one his best work, but still, a strong opponent indeed. My bias wants to give this one to Yoshikose, but Rabbit's Breasts. By this point, even with the chaotic experiment for picking the best animes of the year, this one is pretty close, I will say. Perhaps I will replace Araburu for Carol and Tuesday and add Kimetsu no Yaiba and Shingeki no Kyojin. Or scratch that one and add and Yoshikose and Kaguya-sama to have something similar to a top 10. So let's end up this mess in a rapid round. As for the winner, I'd call this one a tie. So those were the ones I had the pleasure and misery of watching. Less than hardcore fans and more than the recommended amounts. By all means, share which ones you liked, which ones I am trash for watching. Another year has gone by and our demise draws closer. Come Armageddon come. So here it is for next year, and quoting some Matlat, to not having a clue of what you're doing, but enjoying it anyway. And to all of you,